Fucking shit. You're kidding me. Look, I don't have any problem with your family member, but like, I was expecting it was just gonna be us two, not you and your cousin and me. Like, that's a threesome right there.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is I was a side chick. This story took place, last time I heard anything from this man was about a year ago. So yeah, he's a fuck man. He's not even a boy. He is a man, and I will tell you the story behind all this. So I started working at the hospital, and I had a trainer, and at the time she was in food nutrition, but she's evolved and now she's a nurse, and she's one of my good friends. Her name is Molly. So Molly was training me on the 4th floor of this place, at this hospital. I'm gonna call this hospital Gold. I don't know why I thought of Gold, but so at Gold, Molly was my trainer, and I was on the 4th floor. I remember first laying eyes on this guy we're gonna name James, and I thought,
damn, he be fine.
So I had seen him. It's been a couple months since Molly took me on the floor and was training me, and I was transferred to the 3rd floor because when I got hired and when Molly was training me on the 4th floor, yes, sometimes they would come in pairs. People that are in the food industry, with what we do at Gold Hospital, it's a lot, and I know it's nothing compared to what people there do, like their actual license, you know, nurses or doctors by any means, but it's just a lot to deal with if you're looking for a part-time or full-time job. It's in a good working environment, it's a good place. It's just a lot, especially for kids and adults. The struggle of it, and we're just a super busy hospital, and it's a lot to deal with, so it's always busy. And I got hired with this girl named, I think her name was Aubrey or Audrey. Really sweet girl, but she didn't even last a day. So I only trained on the 4th floor for 2 days with Molly, and she didn't come back, so they transferred me to the 3rd floor. So it had been a couple months since I had been on the 4th floor, and they were hiring some new people, and they decided, well, we're just gonna send Jade back up to the 4th floor. And I said,
okay, want the challenge? Okay.
By this time I had totally forgot about James. James and I kind of talked when I was there for the 2 days that I was there, but I mean, it wasn't really anything into detail. I had worked, and he's like, oh hey, like, you're back, and he immediately recognized me. I guess he knew who I was from behind, which I didn't even know. He would tell me,
hey you, how you doing?
I turned around and I'm like, oh, well, hi James, like, I didn't realize, like, you. He's like, yeah, I saw you in a couple of rooms, I thought I'd stop by and say hi. Okay, that works. Hi. Things started going smooth from there. Every time I was on the 4th floor, by this time now I am on the 4th floor, and they are keeping me on the 4th floor, which I don't mind. He then proceeded to ask me my age. So this is happening within a month. So I got hired April 2013. I'm back on the floor a couple months after. It was September because I caught him. There's more to the story. There's more to the story. He had asked me my age, and I had no problem telling him, yeah, I'm 20, I'm gonna be 21 in February. How old are you? And he proceeds to say, well, guess. Honestly, he didn't even look nearly with what he is. I said 23, 25. And he's like, yeah, I'm 24, I'll be 25 in October. Oh, okay, that's awesome. I didn't think much of it. So I was telling one of my hostess friends about him, James. I told her, yeah, I found out James' age. She goes, wow, really? How old is he?
I said 25, or, well, 24. He'll be 25 soon.
And she proceeds to say,
he's lying. He's not that age, Jade. He's not that age.
Well, he told me he was that age. Do you want me to really question it?
like,
how do you know? Did you ever?
Oh, but he doesn't look like that. He looks like a grown-ass man.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, girl, like, my bad.
so I didn't really think much of it. I just stopped at that. One day I'm working all day. I'm working about 12 hours. And 12 hours is a lot to work, and I know that's what the CNAs and the nurses do and the doctors, and I'm not complaining, but 12 hours doing and carrying actual trays and food and sweating and everything kind of added up to it, it becomes a lot, especially when you're on a busy floor, and the 4th floor was busy in the morning. He's getting ready to go and leave for the day. I got there at maybe 7 and he got there at 6. So he's working 12 hours, I'm working 12 hours, but our hours are different. I get off at 8, he gets off at 6. He starts at 6 and he leaves at 6:30. I start at 7 and I left at 8. By the end of his shift time, right after he got done with the patients and passing it on to the next CNA, and he asks me for my number, and it kind of went a little like this. You know, Jade, I'm just about to be dipping out here, and you know, since I'm not really from here, I wanted to know if you wanted to show me around. You know, we can go out and grab a couple drinks, you know, and you can just show me around like the clubs, because I've never been here before. Because I'm from the city, you know. So, can I get your number? Sure. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it went down. He asked me for my number, and I gave him my number. And I really wasn't seeing anyone at that time. So he has my number, nothing much really happens. I think maybe a month goes by. He does text me about a week or 2 later. It was probably 2 weeks later. I was with my friend Cheryl and Farheen, and we were going to the gym right after aesthetic school. The gym Cheryl goes to was right by the school, about 10-15 minutes away, so we thought, hey, like, let's go keep her company at the gym. We'll go in the hot tub while Cheryl does her swimming in her laps. So that day comes by, I get a text from this unknown number, like, what the fuck? And it freaks me out at first. I look at it and he was like,
Hey, yo, it's James.
It's like, hey. I'm like, hey, stranger. And I sent it to him and he read it and he never responded back. I thought it was really weird. So about another month goes by. I still see him at work. We're getting flirty as ever, and it's awesome, and I enjoy coming to work. I enjoy seeing him there because he makes work so much fun, and I'm trying to hang out with him, and he asks me out to dinner. And I said yes. I mean, I knew it was going to be casual. I wasn't expecting much. I mean, I liked him, and I was unsure about him. Something was a little bit off. When I would talk to him in conversations, he would turn everything onto me. So if I were to say,
hey, you know, you have 2 brothers.
Well, yeah, don't you have 2 brothers? And a sister, right?
okay, all right. So it would be kind of stuff like that. Every time I'd ask him a question, he would literally turn it around and ask it on me. And I didn't mind that because sometimes people are one-sided and they just don't want to ask any questions. So at least he was turning it onto me where I felt a little bit more comfortable explaining things because it sounded like he cared. But it was also a reflection of, kind of like, reflection. It kind of reflects off and bounces off. So it was nothing about him. To this day, I don't even know if his last name is really his last name or if his first name is really how he spells his first name. His real name is a simple name to James, but you could substitute a certain letter in there and you can get something else, and I don't really know. Honestly, I really don't. So he ends up texting me on the day we're going to dinner, and he says,
Hey, I'm hanging out with my cousin. Is it okay?
and I'm just like,
Fucking shit, you're kidding me. Look, I don't have any problem with your family member, but like, I was expecting it was just gonna be us 2, not you and your cousin and me. Like, that's a threesome right there. That's not happening.
so I of course say yes after I just did that. Of course I say yes. Yeah, sure. But then I get there, I get to, wait for it, just wait. As I get to Hooters.
Hooters. Jade? Really? Hooters. Fucking Hooters.
I ended up knowing his cousin. He ended up working at the hospital as a transporter. I didn't realize they were related. They didn't even look related. And I thought it was really odd and really weird that that was his cousin and I didn't know about that. So dinner's going on and our food gets to the table. Conversation's going. They're asking me about my ethnicity. If you guys haven't already seen my DNA video, which has reached 7,000 views, 7,000 people have watched that video. That means so much to me. Thank you so much for watching that video and for watching my videos. Sorry, little self-promo right there. Watch my DNA video if you want to know what my ethnicity is. It is explained and I have now more questions than I do answers, so. My tater tots come there, serve on the table, his food with his cousin, and the reason they wanted to go to Hooters is because Hooters has better wings than B-dubs, they exclaimed thoroughly to me.
Their wings, they're just a lot better than B-dubs, so we have to go to Hooters.
Okay then, my bad. I am going to call his cousin Laverne. Why? Because it kind of sounds like it. Laverne proceeds to ask me my age. And I told him, yeah, like, 20, I'll be 21 in a couple months. And of course, it's me to guess his age. And I was like, okay. And I'm really good at guessing someone's age. Being in skin, you can kind of tell with someone's skin their age, just the way the fine lines are, you can kind of just tell.
All y'all estheticians out there watching me, you know what I mean, my bros, my hoes. Just kidding, you ain't hoes. You ain't hoes, girl. You ain't hoes.
And I said, yeah, you're 27, right? And oh wow, that's a good guess. I'll be 28 in November. So I already knew he was, lying about his age, and I proceed to say, wait, being the smartass that I am, proceed to go,
wait, who's older?
And Laverne didn't probably know that James told me he was 24. So Laverne's thinking he's his real age. So Laverne starts saying,
oh, he's older.
And James goes,
he's older than me. Eat your tots. Your tots, they're getting cold.
The coldest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Someone shut me down just like that. I was so shocked. My heart and my insides were like, did he just do that? Did he just do that? Yes, he did. Holy shit. I was speechless. I was so speechless. So that happens. And we continue on from that. We hang out a couple more times, going to different food places. And he didn't really actually have a set day or time that he would see me. He was just kind of throwball in and out there. But as stuff started to progress with James and I, my ex, I'm gonna name him Ronaldo. Ronaldo was trying to get back into the picture. I had started developing feelings for James, and I thought it'd be unfair for Ronaldo to be in the picture while I was liking two guys at once. And I thought that was so super unfair. I am not a cheater.
And Ronaldo, I did not fucking cheat on you. To this day, I will stand my ground. I did never cheated on you. Never. You can keep saying all you want, but I swear I did not cheat on you. I did not cheat.
I broke up with Ronaldo, and I continued stuff with James to kind of see where my feelings were at. I was starting to get in deep with James. I became emotionally investing myself into him, kind of ignoring Ronaldo. He was heartbroken. He was devastated. He wasn't respecting me in the way I feel like he should. Ronaldo became very clingy and attached to me because I broke up with him, which is understandable. I don't really give a specific reason. I just said, well, I started not liking pretty much just the factor of it. I decided to try something new, and I did. And it was later a mistake of what everyone was telling me. Time goes on. James and I are having fun. I heard he got extremely drunk at a party, and for some reason that just hit a chord in my soul. I don't know why, but it just hit a chord. I snapped out of it that quickly. I even tried going on a hunt because I knew he was at his friend's house, and I've been there before. I know his dad. His dad works at Gold Hospital, and I just froze, and I'm thinking,
wow, I did this.
He became very out of it because of my actions, and I never wanted to hurt him that way. I never want to hurt anyone that way. And it just hit me. And after that, after he got super drunk, and I was getting Snapchats from his friend's girlfriend of him drunk, and that's how I knew he was like fucked up. And like I said, I never had seen him that way. I never wanted to. I just felt pretty bad, like, wow, because of my actions, he's numbing his actions because he doesn't want to feel them anymore, for this night at least. Ronaldo and I start hanging out, and I realized how much I missed him. James and I, we had an emotional connection, but we didn't at the same time. I had more of an emotional connection with my ex. So my ex started getting into the picture, and I start hanging out with both of them, and that is wrong of me. I wasn't dating both of them. Wasn't dating either one of them. I was seeing them. I would see James honestly at work, and that was only it, and I would see Ronaldo outside of work. We do for different things, and one night was a very bad night for me. It is a video I could do, and I have a story. It's a story time I have about it, but I drink for, if you guys don't know me, I do not drink. I don't drink. I have drank, and it's not for me. I have figured that out the hard way, that it's not for me. There's only been two select times that I have been drunk and out of it. And hanging out with Ronaldo and getting drunk on accident because we thought it'd be a fun idea, it'd be something, a bonding time. I didn't think I was gonna get drunk. It was just a cool move to pull with my ex. And I had about 5 strawberries, and that was it. I had nothing, barely anything in my stomach. That was the worst night ever. He didn't know I was still talking to James. So the text messages that were coming in were from him, and he had seen stuff on my phone, had taken total advantage of me. I felt so violated that night because I was not in the right state of mind. I ended up having to spend the night over at his house. My mom and my dad. This is another story. If you guys want to hear a story time on this, please let me know in the comments below, because that is another story time. I am getting off topic, but things that happened, and I realized I wanted to be with Ronaldo. After that night, I realized, wow, I miss Ronaldo so much. We have so much more of a connection. I want him back. So Ronaldo and I are going out, and things died down with James. But before all this happened, one of the times where we did hang out, James and I had confronted him about his age, and appalled that it actually happened like that. We were saying bye, and I was like, look, I want you to be honest to me about something. Well, I first said to him, how old are you turning? You said your birthday's coming up. And he goes,
oh yeah, I'll be 26.
now this time he said 26. This past time he said he was going to be 25. So which one are you going to be, James? Are you going to be 24? Or be 25? Or are you going to be 26? And he didn't correct himself at all. He just said, oh yeah, I'm going to be 26. I'm like, well, look, I need you to be honest to me about something. you're not how old you say you are. I know it for a fact. I had done some research on him, I had Googled him, and I had found out and came to the conclusion he was not 24 going on 25. He was
29 going on 30, and I
was only 20. Only 20. Like, that is a huge, that's literally a decade. And I'm not saying 30-year-olds are old by any means, but from going from 20 years old, me being 20, and him saying he's 24, gonna be 25, that's a huge difference. Huge. So that happens. Things had died down with Ronaldo, whatever I named him. Look, I mean. Things end up not working out with Ronaldo and I. It was the final and last time, but this guy had cheated on me plenty of times, and I ended up catching some things on his phone. I can make a story time about it. Shameless self-promo down here in the comments. Let me know if you guys want to hear that story. But it was my last time I caught him cheating because I was done with him after that. I found some pictures in his phone, everything leading up to it, of course, and I was so shocked and appalled by it. I ended up texting James saying, wow, my day's going terrible. I just found out my now ex is cheating on me. It was a couple days after, I think. And so we started talking again, and I was still on the 4th floor. That was going on, and then started hanging out. This is January, February. I'm hanging out with him every Tuesday and Thursday, right before his college classes. And Ronaldo's kind of still in the picture, but at the same time, he's not. His phone was on, of course, because he's communicating with other people, which I don't mind. If you're hanging out with me, I'm not gonna throw some sort of shit if you're talking to someone else. Like, if you're texting someone, who cares? I don't care. Like, you're with me, whatever. But if it starts to become where you're not even recognizing me, you're always on your phone, I'm gonna have a problem with it. And it was that, but it was with phone calls, and he had to keep stepping away. So I knew something was off. I knew he wasn't telling me something. Something was not right. March of 2015 happened, and I was walking down the stairs from my workout class. I, was doing Zumba, and I get this call from him. And I think that's weird because, first off, we FaceTime before. So getting a call from him was different because that's never happened before. He's never once called me, ever. Called me in the 2 years that I knew him. He never called me, unless it was FaceTime and we were planning on it. So I thought, this is weird. So he says to me on the phone,
I need you to delete my number. I need you to never contact me again. You don't know me anymore. You got it?
And I was shocked. I was not expecting that. Like, what do you mean? You're thinking of all your actions. What did you do leading up to this made him act the way you did? And I was hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. Because you didn't do anything. And he just cuts you off like that. So he cuts me off. A couple days go by. I'm heartbroken. I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do? So the next day, I see on one of the sheets at work that he is working on the 4th floor on one of the sides. There's 3 sides. There's like, I'll name them the 1, the 2, and the 3. So he was working the 4-3 side that day. And I was like, I'm avoiding the fuck out of him. Like, he's not seeing me. So I end up getting a call from him around 5 that day. Worked at work at Gold Hospital. And he
was like, oh, wow. You picked up. You're here? I haven't seen you. Yeah, well, I'm kind of avoiding you right now because you don't know me anymore, apparently.
He's like,
look, about that, I need to talk to you. Do you think you can come over to the 4-3 side?
And I'm like, fuck. Finally, fine, I'll go. So I remember running over from the 4-1 side over to the 4-3 side. And we meet in the soiled utility room, and we start talking, and he ends up telling me why he told me that. To lose my number, to everything. He said that, and this is such a small world because this is what really ended up happening. He said that I don't know if he's making this up, or I was thinking he had to have gotten caught by by someone, because at that same night that he told me that, I ended up receiving text messages calling me a bitch, to keep my man in place, like all this shit. And I was like, this has to be his girlfriend. He probably got caught by his girlfriend, because first off, why would he call me saying that stuff when it's not even true, and tell me like he doesn't know me unless he's hiding something from his girlfriend? So he had no idea that happened, that I was receiving text messages that same day he called me. Bullshit. James was all a part of this plan. So he ends up talking to me and saying that, look, I was hanging out with some guy yesterday, and apparently he knows you or knows a friend that knows you, and said, don't talk to Jade. She's a waste of your time. She's going to get back with her ex anyways. It's just not worth your time. She's not worth your time. So he got in the heat of the moment, and he's like, what are you talking about? She's not worth my time. Like, what do you mean? So then they ended up explaining stuff, and he ended up then making that call to me saying, look, you don't know me. Like, I don't want to know you anymore. You know, bye. I felt better about that conversation after, but at the same time, it didn't make sense to me on why he had done that. It didn't add up. Out of all the times that same day I got text messages from some person, some random area code, and from that day on, I ended up getting harassing text messages from all these different kinds of numbers, calling me a hoe, calling me a whore to keep my man in place, all these negative, mean stuff that I had no idea who was sending them to me. And I was actually I ended up being really scared about my safety, because first off, they knew where I worked because they were naming names, saying that they were that person that I would see at Gold Hospital, one of the hostesses or the hosts. His name was Keith. And I'm like, oh, Keith, hey, you didn't tell me you got a new number. And they ended up playing right into it. I ended up never finding out who it was, but I was kind of scared for my safety, because I mean, I'm also leaving the hospital and the cafeteria and everything by myself, walking to my car, not knowing who this person is texting me. Text me saying like, yeah, like I'll see you today, or just random stuff like, yeah, like it's Keith. And it just kind of makes you think you're not, if they know when they start naming those co-workers that they say that they are, and they're kind of attacking you like that, you kind of have to be on the lookout. James continues to deny this to this day. If we were to ask him, he would deny that that was ever him. As he was getting phone calls, as we were still hanging out, we would still hang out, but he ended up getting let go of Gold Hospital. And I remember the specific time, last time I saw him in person was in my car. And I knew I was blocked on his phone, because the messages that we would send each other would just say delivered, and it was on red. So he would never respond back to them. He would send me photos of random things saying, oh yeah, going past good old Gold Hospital with Gold's Hospital right there. I'm like, yeah, that's right by my house. I'm no shit, Sherlock, you're going past it. You're going to work. Send me pictures of himself, not naked pictures, but face pictures, like, oh, like, let me see that cute face. And he would send me a picture of him. He's like, all right, well, your turn, babe. So then I would send one of my face at work. It's like, oh, I wish I was working on that side today, and just kind of communicate like that. So this time that I see him, the last time I see him, which is a lie, first off, I did see him in person after this, and I will talk about that right in a minute. But this is the last time, not knowing I was going to see him. The very, very last time I would see him in person, I didn't know I was going to be seeing him. It was by surprise. And it's weird how he works up in weird ways. And he's in my car, and I knew I was blocked on his phone because of all the whole texting thing had happened. And he had to step out because his sister escaped from his grandma's house, and he had to get going because he took the call. He left the car. He ended up coming back in the car, and he said, look, my sister escaped, because his sister has is a teen mom apparently, escaped from his auntie's house, and they need to find her, but the baby's safe, but she escaped. And it's broad daylight. You could have just left through the doorway. Why'd you have to go through the window? Apparently she broke the window. Kind of dramatic. I believed it. He's telling me this, and I end up sending him a message because I knew I was blocked, and I wanted to see if I was blocked on his phone. So I had already a message sent. It just had like a letter H or something. So as he came back into the car, proceeding to tell me the story, I had sent that because his alarms and everything, every text message, every call was going off in my car. So since this had been happening where it would just say delivered, it wouldn't even say read, or oh yeah, I never got your message. You know, that's really weird. We ended up having Sprint, the same phone carrier, and it's like, oh, okay, like, could be just Verizon, but no, he wasn't getting my text messages as we were trying to communicate. Doesn't get the text message. So then, no, he wasn't getting my text messages as we were trying to communicate. Doesn't get the text message. So then, as he's talking, as I politely can, kind of have my phone slid, hit the call button on my iPhone right here. And it's not ringing. And he ends up saying to me, no, I really gotta go. I go to Chicago. He always had to go to Chicago for some reason. I don't know why. But he said his family was there and he would visit Chicago every week. Now, we're from being about a good hour away from the city, from where I'm located at. Going to the city for one short day for a couple hours doesn't really seem worth it to me. Almost on a daily basis, probably around four or five times a week he would go to Chicago, from what he's told me. So he was going to Chicago, and I was like, hey, I have a question. You're not receiving my text messages or my calls. Like, why? Why do you have me blocked? I just tried calling you right now. And he froze. He flipped shit on me. I was so appalled and so shocked at the same time. It was like, I better not die. You better not hit me, because I'm gonna hit you back. Like, no. He raises his temper and literally all hell breaks loose. Like, I've never seen that side of him ever. He's like, what do you mean you're not blocked? And I'm just like, James, why do you have me blocked? Like, you have a girlfriend, right? Because I had my suspicions about him having a girlfriend with the whole texting thing. It's everything just led up to that, just letting it out. And I felt so good letting it out. But he was like, I don't know, what do you, he froze. He fucking froze. Holy shit, he froze. Like, really, James? Just, that's all you have to do. Like, tell me the truth. To this day, if I were to approach him saying, yeah, you have a girlfriend, he would completely deny it. Later on, I was seeing a friend. This is a couple weeks after this all happens. And I'm over, picking him up from his apartment place. And I see James's car. And James lived in that same apartment complex. One apartment above my friend. My friend lived at the 3rd floor and he lived at the 2nd. And he's like, yeah, they have a kid. What do you mean? So this fuckboy, this fuck man, played me. What was the whole point in that, James? Like, I hope you find this video. I really hope you find this video. What the fuck was that? First off, having a girlfriend or wife or whatever she is. And 2, having a kid. I mean, it's not like you were gonna date me or anything. If he wanted to ask me out, he would have asked me out. It was just a fling that we had. And he completely played me. This is my story all summed up. My stories are long. So that's like pretty much the video. There's so much more details in that I have not. Yeah. But I ended up seeing him about 2 months after that encounter in my car, never talking to him again, never seeing him again. I got out of Zumba and I said, oh, well, I'm gonna go to Ulta. So I go to Ulta and I pull in the parking lot. Who's in the parking lot? Just guess. James. And that girlfriend, wife thing, whatever she is, and another girl. I had a legit panic attack. I called my friend Molly, explained to her, and she said to stay calm, but I wasn't gonna let him win with this. He played me, he betrayed me. He started off this entire friendship that we had that is not even a friendship. You don't lie about your age. He would say that he lived on streets that were parallel. How do you live on 2 streets that are parallel? Like, you're smarter than that. You're a CNA.
Yeah, I live on Road A and Road B. But C's right in front of that. Shouldn't you be on the intersection of the parallel?
I wasn't gonna let him win. So I had to, of course, have the last laugh. So I waited around, and I was walking store to store. I saw the store they went into a bookstore. So what Jade's smartass did was wait until they got out of the bookstore and passed him head on. Did not even look me in the eyes. Did not. Didn't even look up. He had his head down the entire way. And I got the last laugh. So yeah, so that is my story time, my long ass story. Thank you for everyone that actually stayed until the very end. I'm sorry my storytelling skills are a little off because just of telling the story these past 2 times and not using actual videos. I'm trying to shorten it down because it was literally like 45 minutes long because of all the details. Like, there's more. But that is the basics of it. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and comment down below on a time that you had been the side chick. If that has ever happened to you, I want to know. I want to get your guys' responses from that. If you're someone that's playing someone that is not nice,
Drop that shit right now because karma will bite you in the ass, I guarantee you.
and
Thank you, karma. Thank you, karma.
so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a very beautiful and soulful day, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.